Oh man, that is satisfying. The punching bag, another essential tool to a boxer's training. I am picturing that man that cut me off at the signal this morning.
Back punching, we are keeping a target. The target will be there. We want to hit a punch, the combination of punch, 1, 2, left hook. On the target we are hitting. Back punching will give more strength, endurance, stamina. Because hitting each other inside the ring, you can move this and all. Without any person, we are keep on hitting the backs. We are giving our force. We can strengthen the, coach will tell, your right jab is not that much power. You can put some more load. That you use your right leg to move, because boxing 60 to 65% lower level, footwork, the base from leg. Hand sits just moving, we are throwing a punch means it will come from the root level. It will come means landing the punch is very, very simple.
Training on the punching bag also improves anaerobic conditioning, which trains the muscle contractions and reaction times, enabling a boxer to respond quickly and powerfully when he or she is punched.
When I was in the punching bag, it was completely different. The shadow boxing, it was just movements. When I actually hit the bag, I could feel the entire impact on my body. And I could actually see where the power originated from, how I punched it, and what effect it had on me. And it gave me an idea, rough idea of how an actual boxing thing would go on. And I could realize how the workouts would actually help me when I actually punched the bag.
The physical benefits of boxing is when you box against a punch bag or when one shadow boxes, within a round, which is roughly 2 to 3 minutes, one could burn out 300 to 400 calories when one shadow boxes on full movement, footwork, and it encompasses the movement of all the groups of muscles in the body. One has to gain control over muscles of facial expression because one should not let his or her expressions out on the ring to his or her opponent, which a great bit of it is masked by the mouth guard.
Okay, so we've worked on our techniques individually, but it's a whole new ballgame when an opponent is in the picture. That's where sparring comes in.
Sparring is fighting against an opponent, which is not an actual bout, where one really does not go and hit the opponent, but one practices his moves, one practices his punches, etc., etc. So you normally, a boxer in training spars with their sparring partners, which may be one or more, where they practice their punches, and sparring again is to sort of get the boxer fit and ready for the fight, because one has the opponent. I mean, it is the next step after the punch bag, and it is the intermediary between the punch bag and the actual bout.
The physical benefits were like my entire upper body was like totally tight, and I could feel the muscles working when I actually went into the physical activity like this. And the trouble was, like, after a point of exhaustion, there was no muscle control in my body. The punches I threw went haywire, it went somewhere else. I was actually aiming somewhere and it went somewhere else. And it was like little difficult to actually concentrate. And after a point it became a mental thing, it was no longer a physical thing. I had to think and I had to concentrate completely for continuous 3 minutes, which was a new experience for me, I should say. It's great.
Boxing is one of the oldest contact sports in the history of humans. Our first historical records of boxing as a formal sport come from the ancient Greeks. And as early as 688 BCE, boxing was accepted as an Olympic sport.
Boxing gently branched out to two different categories. One was the professional fighters or the prize fighters fighting for their purse and their livelihood. And most of them, during the turn of the 19th century, I mean late 1800s to 1900s, most of the prize fighters were from from the lower echelon of the European society. Later on, the educated gentry wanted to introduce boxing into the curricula of various institutions, and that's how the modern day amateur boxing evolved.
Well, at this point, I'm feeling pretty confident as a fighter. That's right, Tyson. I'm ready for you. And Sai, I'm ready for you too.
It was time for the big fight. The bets were placed, the stadium was packed, sort of. But now, it's the eye of the tiger. It's the cream of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rivals.
In the ring, weighing 42 kilograms is Nirupama Beliappa. And in the ring, weighing 111 kilograms, Sai Ganesh. Ready? Fight! It's the match of the year, folks. Sai is coming at Nirupama, and whoa! Nirupama has dodged the punch and gone for a beastly blow to the head. But Sai is quick on his feet and on the offensive. It's a really close fight, folks. Neither fighter is willing to give in. It's a knockout. Sai has hit the canvas. Nirupama has knocked out the state level super heavyweight champion. Now Prabhu is coming up against the champion boxer. And it looks like Prabhu is giving him quite a run for his money.
I think I bombed with this in the fight with him. Because for a guy his size, he was moving like I had never seen anybody move. I said it was just TV and movies that I have seen, but to see such a big guy moving so fast and to know that the impact that it will have on me if I took a punch, it took great courage to just stand in front of him and show the moves in front of him. It was a mental experience. It was great. It was good. I think everybody should go through it at least once to face that kind of thing.
Prabhu, he did very brilliantly. Brilliant means within a fraction of a second he is observing. He is taking each and everything. Straight punch means he is using with the leg, movement and landing on the target. That too, after landing punch, he is coming out. It's not always hitting. You hit a punch, it's coming. And he is moving around. That is a great thing Prabhu did.
Prabhu, that was a great fight, but what say we take the intensity down several notches?
Up next, we'll recover from training at the GRT Temple Bay Spa.